Hey, happy Saturday evening, Cottonwood Valley followers. It's Matt out here, and I'm actually out in the field, as you can see right now. We are 1 week exactly, basically, from when we planted these 12 rows of vegetables. I'm out today looking for any spots that didn't take. I have a few left over in some trays of some certain varieties and things that I'm gonna get plugged in. If there's an open spot, get those holes filled. Might as well, they've hardened up in the tray. And speaking of hardening up, I made a mistake, or you could say I learned with it. These were not hardened well enough. They don't look too bad today, but you come down here and you see all this new growth on it. Well, we sunburnt a lot of the original leaves. They're taking on well, putting on new growth, but I learned the importance of hardening off the plants. Actually, today I went in, I've got our next about 14 trays, about 1,000 plants outside the greenhouse back at the house that are going to sit outside for the full week, monitoring the weather with them. And the weather will be another topic coming on up when I talk about irrigation and storms and stuff like that. But first, I'm going to go through, figure out what I have left over, just hand dig a few plants in and go from there. Okay, so this is kind of the extras I'm dealing with. I've got spaghetti squash here, maybe 10 of them, and then the butternut squash, maybe 4 or 5 of them, a few zucchinis, both yellow squash there. So not a lot, but I actually just went down the row and counted, and I really think, like of the butternut, I only need 2 or 3, and of the other spaghetti squash, maybe 4 or 5 total. So gonna get those plugged in, just taking a little hand spade. I'm actually taking some milk jugs full of the leftover fish emulsion fertilizer out with me, just to water them in. We watered on Monday night out here. I came out Monday, got all the irrigation tubing ran to them all, 5/8 drip tape, 1-inch headline here, and I'll walk through how that works when we're pumping water again. But we pumped water Monday night, and these plants have been through a very hard week. 90-degree temperatures and howling winds. So when you see them standing here, I'm just glad we have as many as we have and haven't had more damage. So seeing them grow is a good thing, but I don't know that we need more water right now. We're predicting severe weather really Sunday night, Monday night, and that's probably in the past by the time this video comes out, so we'll see what's left of them. One thing that really scares me is not so much the rain or anything out here, but hail. Hail on these viney plants, and these plants have a lot of surface area, so that scares me a little bit, but there's nothing you can do about the weather. So right now my attitude is, we'll see when I dig in and plant in some of these rows, is not to water tonight. If I'm not hitting much moisture in it, I've stuck my fingers in some of these spots where we've planted. They're coming out muddy. I don't want to overwater right now. They're growing good, everything's going well, so I don't want to pump more water out of the ground than I have to. So I think my attitude right now is, unless I change my mind before the end of the night, I'm not going to pump water. But it's that whole deal of, if I water, I guarantee it rains. If I don't water, maybe the weather will hold off. So we'll see. I'm going to walk through and drop some plants in the right spot so that I have them laying out and I can see where the holes are and go from there. This is a pretty weak one in here, so I'm actually going to come in here with the shovel and just cut another hole, a groove there for it, for the next one to go in. Pop a healthy one out of the tray here. And just push it in right like that. So I'm gonna give this one a chance to live here, but keep them going just like that. And before we're done, we'll just give it a little bit of a drink here, just to water it in. Just like that, another butternut squash planted. Look at how much taller this one is. Push it in there. And if I said that fertilizer was rank a week ago, imagine it sitting out in the sun for a week and just continuing that fermenting. It's awful to open that jug. Probably ended up putting about another 12 to 15 in. You know, I was going through the trays and I said, what am I gonna do with these extras? So any of them that look kind of sick, kind of weak, we just replaced them. You just get them in. This is one we transplanted right there. Get it pushed in, get it watered good, and take care of it. So now I've got some zucchini and yellow squash. Gonna do the same process. Gonna go fill up my jugs of the fertilizer water to be ready for that. But funny enough, it's only been like 20 minutes since I shot that last clip, but it is now clouded up and cooled off, probably 10 to 15 degrees out here. It feels really nice, but maybe we'll get a shower tonight. We'll see. There's one thing I really want to show you though, to show you kind of an example of what's been going on this week and the conditions they've had. These are the summer squash, the yellow squash. See that circle on the plastic and the dust here? These circles are showing you what they've done in the wind. So several snapped off stems there, and really just impressed that any of them are surviving after that. We had 30, 35 mile an hour gusts, probably. I don't know what it really was out here in the country. There is very little wind protection from the south, and I can tell you next year, that's one thing I'm already considering. Is you see some people plant like a ryegrass or some sort of cover crop between the rows. It's really something to think about. I didn't truly understand it until I got out here doing it this year. I understand cover cropping and the purposes of that, especially in a row crop situation. But here in the garden, why they're letting it go out to seed and so tall? Well, it's one, easy to kill off a cover crop out of season, but two, just that wind protection between the rows. So that's my soapbox right now. Just seeing those as I was planting it in those circles. I have about 7 zucchinis left, and this was a portion of a row right here that we ran out of cucumbers when we were planting. So I'm gonna come in here and actually plant them a little bit closer than we did in their main rows, mainly because I'm curious how a water wheel, a different set of dimensions, a 24-inch super wheel versus the 26 we have right now, it just changes the spacings on things. And the one I have now, you can go 17 inches or 31 inches. I'd really like one that gets me closer to 2 feet. So I'm gonna plant these at 2 feet just to see how they do here. It's space we're already irrigating, so why not put the plants in we have and harvest them. So I'm gonna go ahead and measure it out and get those planted. Counting by twos is my style of math. I like that. That was easy enough. So I'm gonna go ahead and get them planted in. I'll show you here in a second too. This row right here, you can really see how dry the ground is. It's cracked up and everything. But under this plastic where we irrigated, so soft and wet, you're really mudding them in with the little spade there, the little hand trowel, getting them in, and it just blew my mind how well this plastic retains that moisture underneath it. So I'm all about that. I'm all about saving water. I don't want to pump more water out of the well than I have to this year. Got the 7 zucchini in there. So that's pretty much gonna wrap it up for today's vlog out here. I apologize, not every week's super exciting with the tractors or planting or laying mulch, but that's just part of it. You know, we got most of our crop in. Now it's just seeing what it does, what Mother Nature does to it. These are the cucumbers. Like I said, pretty sunburnt. I worry about some of these stems. Nature's gonna take its course on it, and that's just part of farming. But that's why I'm starting this week, round number 2 of planting in the greenhouse, starting more cells. And that's why we have all of that plastic out there that's unplanted. Is so about every 6 weeks you can start a rotation of it, because one, these plants won't keep going all summer. They're not necessarily determinate, all of them, but they do have a span on them and a life. And just getting thrashed out here in the wind, you can't count on it. But you know, if hail does come through, we're 6 weeks out from planting again, and just try to keep that rotation going all summer. And the big thing coming up is planting pumpkins in the greenhouse. We have 2,000 seedlings we're starting. I think about 8 varieties of pumpkin, ranging from mini hockey puck sized all the way to, I think I've got some 30 or 40 pounders. Not very many of those, but I couldn't resist myself ordering seed. And those are all gonna go out there right past the end of these rows. There's about 2 acres right there where we're gonna lay plastic, we're gonna irrigate it, and hopefully get a good crop established. Some fun things going off there. If you've been following me for a while or you're a friend of ours, you know we grew pumpkins last year out in the garden spot where I've got some radishes and green beans growing right now. But that was about 1/4 acres worth, and we sold them up at the roadside stand up here, and that's definitely a goal. The goal's a little bit bigger this year with what we have planned for the month of October, or the ideas that we're coming up with for the month of October, but it's farming. We'll see what it takes and what Mother Nature brings us. And during this, you know, it's clouded up. I've heard thunder off in the distance. I don't think we're gonna get any of it tonight, but later this weekend we will. So thanks for following along. Thanks for watching these videos. Make sure you're liking and subscribing, and we'll see you on the next video. Thanks.